Hey guys, this is Zach Cummings, UFC welterweight, middleweight, and light heavyweight. Check out Hung Overhand Right.
What is up? Welcome back to Hung Overhand Right. And Dana White just dropped a video announcing a bunch of fights. Some we already knew about, some we didn't. My name's Jonathon. That's Chad. That's Dylan. And we're going to react to some of these fight announcements. You guys ready?
Sure.
Do it.
UFC 298 in Anaheim gets number 3, Rob Whittaker, versus number 6, Paulo Costa. Chad, thoughts on that fight?
Well, I think it's fun. I mean, obviously it fell through with Chimaev with Costa and everything. So Bobby's looking to come back after getting slept by Dricus. So I think it's going to be a good fight. Honestly, I'm probably going with Whittaker just because he's been a lot more active than Costa. And then Costa with his antics, something's always happened, whether it's wine or staff. So
Dylan?
Yeah, Bobby Nux needs a big time win. Should be a good fight either way, but I'm kind of like Chad. I'm kind of leaning towards Whittaker. I think it's a good fight for him to bounce back against a big name.
Yeah, I think if anything is going to light the fire under Whittaker, it would be that last fight. I mean, getting beat up by Dricus like that is not a great look for him, former champ. And I think Costa is a great matchup for him in the sense that Costa's, a striker, but not as polished as Whittaker, and a big long layoff. So it's a good fight. I like you guys. I do lean Whittaker, early lean, but he's just got to show up this time. He, in my opinion, didn't really show up last time.
yeah, just like with Dricus, he's a striker, but definitely not what you would call polished. And look what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Just it's part of the fight game, I think. But I think Whittaker's going to come back and get it done.
Agreed. All right, let's move on. Same card. This was originally announced as being on UFC 299. They switched it to UFC 298. Number 8, Geoff Neal versus number 10, Ian Garry. This one obviously has already been booked in the past. Dylan, thoughts?
I think we're going to see the Ian Garry show again. I believe he's just going to keep building on what he's got going so far. Jeff's tough though.
Chad?
Yeah, like Dylan said, Jeff's tough. He's got power in his hands. I mean, he's got knockout power. And Ian Garry, like we've seen, he's gotten sloppy. But if he fights like he did, why am I going blank?
Again.
Just beat the hell out of
Neal.
Yeah.
leg kicks. Yeah, Magny. There you go. If he shows up like that, fights a crisp game, I think it's just going to be, like Dylan said, the Ian Garry show. Or Machado Garry.
yeah.
Fucking wag. Yeah, I think the size is going to be a factor here in the range. I mean, Jeff's he's got short little arms and he hits hard, but Ian he moves better in out.
I don't think he's going to let him get close enough to land that one shot he needs to.
And it's on a pay-per-view, so it's going to be in a big cage. So Jeff's going to be chasing him around the whole time, I think. And
yeah, Jeff's got some bad blood.
Yeah,
right now with the whole mugshot T-shirt shit. Yeah. So
Jeff's a guy that he's kind of proved me wrong over the years against certain people. So you never know. Ian Garry's he's been caught before, but I feel like he just keeps getting better every time. So
yeah, that vegan diet.
Yeah. All right, moving along. UFC Mexico City. This is an interesting one. This is one we already kind of knew about, but there's a couple details that are interesting here. Number 3, Brian Ortega versus number 2, Yair Rodriguez. I think this was already announced a while ago, but just this Dana White video says 5-round co-main event. Chad?
That surprised me.
Chad?
Yeah, no, the 5-round main event, I think it's adding to maybe I'm not saying, I guess for lack of a better word, lackluster card maybe or something. They're trying to throw a little bit of spice since the fight is also already I think that when's the last time we saw Ortega?
Was it?
Been a
It
while.
was Volk, wasn't it? Or
Volk. I mean, yeah, I was going to say it's been a long time since we've seen him. There might have been. I thought maybe there might have been a fight between that, but after.
oh, his last fight was against Yair.
Yeah. That's what it was. That's what I was alluding to. The fight's already happened.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, Yair's trying to bounce back from, getting demolished by Volk.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Ortega just trying to get back in the mix of things. I don't know. Sometimes with Ortega, he looks like, I'm a fan of him, but sometimes he looks like he's there and, just like any fighter, I guess. You don't know if they show up. And sometimes he just doesn't show up and people are teaching him how to block punches and shit and all that. So, I don't know. I like Yair. I'm probably going to take Yair in this one.
Bill.
Yeah, that's a tough one for T City. I think Ortega's gonna Yair's gonna put on a clinic.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the fight's already happened and Yair won, but Ortega to me is just he's just clinging to dear life in this division. I mean, he just kind of gets smoked by everybody most of the time. And the last win, the Korean Zombie fight, he looked good, but Zombie was a zombie at that point.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This is a weird booking to me. Like
why are they back even?
Yeah, I mean the rankings here. Obviously, Volk, Max, Yair, Ortega, Arnold, Allen, Taporia. So it's like it's a little bit of the everyone's fought everybody kind of thing going on, but it's just an odd choice. I guess obviously UFC Mexico City, Yair is from Mexico, Ortega is Mexican descent, so maybe that's why, and the timing just worked out. But I think, I like Yair a lot in this one, honestly.
Yeah.
All right. UFC Atlantic City, number 2, Erin Blanchfield versus number 3, Manon Fiorot. A lot of people speculated that this was going to happen. It's in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Blanchfield's from New Jersey. Dylan?
I like Manon, dude. Who'd she fight last? She
Rose.
looked good her last fight.
Rose.
Was it Rose?
Yeah.
She beat Rose.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried telling you guys that. No one listened to me. She's a bad bitch, dude. I like her a lot. I think
she got hands.
It's gonna be a tough fight, but I think I see her coming out with the win. She's a little, wasn't she? She's a little on the older side, I guess you could say, and she hasn't fought very much, if I remember right. Like she started her career like later in life.
Yeah.
But she's kind of went on a little tear for the 2-3 years she's been fighting professionally. But
she is 33.
And I want to say she started fighting at like 28 or something stupid like that. But
yeah, she's 11-1. So yeah, she was. Wasn't she some sort of judo or something?
Maybe
judo, like Olympic,
something along those lines. Yeah,
Chad.
She's jacked, and I like her. I see her coming out on top.
Yeah, no, I like her. She's got crisp hands. She can bang with them. Obviously, Blanchfield is Blanchfield and a badass herself and on a tear. So I don't know. I think it's going to be a tough fight. Honestly, I'm kind of a little torn from this. I want to go with Manon, but my brain is telling me to go with Blanchfield.
Yeah.
I mean, Erin's she's tough, but she's very hittable. And now I thought when she fought Tyler Santos that was going to be a big problem, and it really wasn't. So I don't know. And obviously her game is grappling pretty much primarily. But Manon's, I mean, she's a judoka, and she's going to be a big in there. I mean, there's going to be a size difference. So I don't know. This has got split decision written all over it, and I don't know. I'm having a hard time. I'm probably going to lean Blanchfield, but it's going to be a close one, I think.
Yeah, I agreed. That's why I think my brain is telling me to go with Blanchfield, but I'm a bigger Manon fan.
All right. The big ones here. We got 3 fights announced for UFC 300. One we kind of already knew about, and we'll start with that one. Bo Nickal, they're feeding him another guy, Cody Brundage. Brundage, background in wrestling, but he's fighting an elite wrestler.
Yeah.
Chad?
I mean, we'll see. I mean, they're building Bo up. They're just throwing him can after can after can. And his last one, he came out fought some guy from LFA that I don't remember his last name, and
The guy that showed up.
dropped his ass.
Guy that showed up with no corner, no coaches, no.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Just you come from you're fighting an LFA, have no coaches or nothing that want to come and corner you. That's just so crazy. But Bo showed out, did what he was supposed to do and dropped the guy and knocked him the hell out, and put on a show. So we'll see. I think it's probably going to go a little similar. Maybe there might be a little bit more showcasing of Bo's wrestling abilities and all that. He's probably gonna. I could see a finish, via ground and pound and stuff like that. But I don't know if Bo. We never know. Bo might fall in love with his hands. Wrestlers when they get knockouts, they tend to do that. So we'll see.
Dylan?
If his hands develop, that dude's gonna be fucking scary.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I see him. He's definitely going to win. I'm not quite sure how, because I thought he was going to just wrestle the poor LFA guy to death, and then he just went in there and just absolutely starched him. So I don't know. If he develops his hands and maybe becomes like a, Chandler Gaethje type guy, I don't see that happening per se, but I don't know. He's going to be good. They're just, like you said, they're trying to build up that train as well, like the Ian Garry show, the Machado show.
Yeah, so the guy he fought last was Val Woodburn.
Was he like 7-1 or something like that, or
7-0 actually.
No.
But now, I mean, that one's weird. I mean, it lasted 38 seconds. Like, I don't know how much to read into the striking of Bo Nickal. I mean, obviously he knocked the shit out of him, but it's like, how impressive is that against Val Woodburn? I don't know, but like Chad mentioned, I do see him wanting to strike in this fight and kind of being like, I knocked a guy out, like I can strike. And against Cody Brundage, I think it's going to work. I think he's going to piece him up on the feet, honestly.
Well, and if what's Brundage going to do? Shoot on him? I mean, then he's good. He's going to be fine.
Yeah, and Brundage. I mean, Brundage has had some trouble in the UFC. Like he's had some tough losses at just against guys. I mean, Oleg Zaychuk, Vieira, not too bad, but like Cedric was Dumas, lost to him. Nick Maximov lost to William Knight. I mean,
good God.
Yeah, it's clear. I mean, there's no secret that what they're doing here.
But still, like, I mean, Bo, what's he? Like 4-0?
5-0.
5-0? I mean,
all finishes.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm him, I'm taking fighters like that every fucking time they book me. I'm gonna,
Yeah.
Why not fight guys like that? Because, like you said, you just list they're all losses, but you listed off like 3 guys in the UFC.
Right.
So I mean, he's fighting an experienced guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it'll be another coming out party for Bo, and they're building them the way they should. They're building them like they built Sean O'Malley and other people similar. So I think Bo, he has all the tools to really like make something happen here at some point. All right, let's move on. Another UFC 300 fight. Aljo, we knew he was going up to featherweight. Calvin Kattar is who they give him right off the bat. And I don't know what to think about this one.
Too easy.
Dylan?
Yeah, that's weird. When guys move up, I'm always curious to see the size difference, if there is any. I know Aljo is probably a little on the bigger side for 35, but I mean, he's got to go in there and wrestle, right?
It has to.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to stand up with Kattar.
Right.
I don't think he should.
I mean, he didn't stand with Jan that much. I mean, he took him and just, was a backpack for the whole fight.
Yeah, and I think that's what he's going to try and do with Kattar. I just don't. He doesn't have the hands to stick and stand with Kattar.
After getting knocked out like he did, he's not going to fuck around on the feet with anybody. I don't think, at least not for a little while.
5'11" versus 5'7".
God, he's that short. Yeah, he's putting his wrestling shoes and a fucking singlet on, and he's grappling. He's going to try to get the back and do Aljo shit.
I just don't. I don't love this. I mean, I know Aljo cuts a lot of weight, and so it was probably necessary for him to go up, but I don't love the move up for him, honestly. Like, these guys hit hard, and a lot of them are good strikers. I mean, Volk, Max, Yair, Arnold Allen, Taporia, Emmett. I mean, that's
I think it's a decent matchup for his first fight moving up, though.
yeah.
I mean, Kattar's not a slap, but he's not really known for his, takedown defense and grappling skills.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they could have matched him up with someone a little equal to him on all those aspects, but,
Yeah, I mean, stylistically, obviously, on paper, good matchup, but I just don't. I just don't picture it going well for Aljo personally.
Kattar's a dog.
Yeah. And I mean, he's not known for his wrestling or takedown D, but I feel like he's probably a little underrated in that department. And
Yeah.
Aljo, he relies on like chain wrestling, like just he's got to shoot 2, 3, 4, chain everything together, like he has to. And then now against bigger guys, like he's definitely gonna have to.
Oh yeah.
So
my overreaction pick for that, I'm gonna go Aljo with that.
Really?
Yep.
I'm going Calvin.
No, I don't think that's a bad pick. I mean, to me,
former champ.
I don't see it going that great for Aljo, but also, I mean, Kattar. Aljo can be a human backpack real fast. So, we'll see what Kattar does. Kattar's a sniper, though. Like Kattar can. I mean, he's a boxer. That's what he does. It's his breakfast. That's what he loves to do. So, I don't know. I think I'm probably leaning Aljo, but kind of pulling for
Aljo.
Kattar.
He just makes some poor decisions in there. I mean, walks in with his chin up, doesn't wrestle a whole lot. I mean, he just does weird stuff in there, and it's like he's gonna have to just be like, I'm gonna be sticky this fucking fight. Like I'm sticking to this guy like glue, and if he doesn't do that, I'm worried for him.
Yeah.
All right, the big one. Well, I don't know if it's the biggest one on the list, but it's up there. Number 3, Jiri Prochazka. Number 5, Aleksandar Rakić. Rakić, my guy. I love this guy, but he hasn't fought in so long. And
that's a tough to come back to.
Yuri's no joke. So, Chad.
I mean, I'm with you. I like Rakić too, and I like Jiri as well. But is it too quick of a turnaround for Jiri after getting starched?
That's kind of what
It's in April.
Yeah, I mean, still, that's to get knocked out like you did. I mean, I guess he wasn't just out cold, but I mean, it's a concussion's a concussion, So how long? I know Jiri doesn't want to sit, doesn't like to sit. So, but I don't know. Rakić is dangerous even with a layoff.
Who's his last fight?
Jan, and it was a really close decision. Oh, that's actually KO. I'm trying to remember that one now. Was it like an injury or something?
What year are we talking? I don't even remember
22, I believe. So it was a leg injury, round 3, 2022 in May. And
that was when they were kicking each other in the legs, wasn't it?
2022?
Yeah, May 2022.
So, fucking 2 summers ago.
Yeah, no. Oh, like
Not
year and a half, basically.
Right, yeah. And it's in April. Fuck.
Yeah, I mean,
that's damn near a 2-year layoff.
It's kind of the battle of the two guys that had really bad injuries recently.
Yeah. No, I think that'll be a fun one to watch. That's for sure. I mean, it's always fun watching Jiri, but I don't know. Even for some reason, I just think it's a little too soon. Like you're coming off a layoff, and then you go and get knocked out. Like I know you don't want to have more of a layoff, but let's think of longevity here and not just losing fights because you're right there in the championship level. I mean, you don't want to just all of a sudden lose 2, 3 in a row and you're not fighting for a title for a while.
I'm going.
Who?
I'm going Yuri. He's just different.
Yeah.
And he fought an absolute murderer in Pereira, and I think we can't overlook that because that guy's a fucking destroyer. I mean,
Yeah, that guy's
Just because he got knocked out by him, I'm not going to be like, I don't know. I'm not going to buy into that.
I mean, I believe in Rakic's skills, but it's like we know what we're getting more with Jiri, which is weird because you never really know what to expect with him. But we know what we're getting out of Jiri more than we do Rakić. It's been a year and a half for Rakić, so it's like rust, ring rust, the injury. Like, how's he going to be? And before he was a killer, but it's just tough to know what to expect.
God, that's a tough one to just get thrown back in with fucking Yuri, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I like it because he clearly feels like he's ready to get in there with the good guys again. But
I'd kind of rather see him win, I think, but that's just tough. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm gonna slightly lean Rakić, but that's probably a little bit of bias involved, and I do love Jiri also. So that's gonna be a close one, I think.
Yeah, it's a tough one for sure, but I think I'm with you, John. I'm kind of leaning towards Rakić.
It's gonna be. It's obviously that's not the main event of UFC 300, so it'll be 3 rounds probably, which changes things a little bit.
Those last 3.
Yeah.
That one.
Kattar, Aljo, Bo Nickal.
And then what was the
Bo
other
Nickal.
one? Bo Nickal. That's
so,
right.
I mean, that's not even. I'm assuming that's not even like tip of the iceberg for this card. Like,
no, there was rumors that Bo's going to be the first prelim.
Yeah, I'd say.
Oh, not even on the fucking main card.
Yeah, it's first
Bo,
prelim.
I mean, I would honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if Aljo and Kattar was on the last prelim, and then like 2 title fights above Rakić and Jiri.
Could you imagine if Jiri and Rakić open hard up
like pay-per-view?
Yeah,
I would love that. That would make a lot of sense. I mean, they want to put bangers on the openers, so.
Oh yeah, 300 is going to be insane.
They got 5 more crazy ones after that.
It's going to be. I think.
And then I'm going to call it. It's going to be all like one-sided, unanimous decisions across the board.
Well, who's probably going to be the main event is Leon and Bilal, or co-main. So that'll be your decision probably.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm hoping
Jones
to knock it
for a while, right?
Jones.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what's.
Yeah.
It could be 2 years, honestly.
He tore his titty. He's out for a while.
And Pereira. I mean, Pereira put on his story 30 plus 300 equals 3. Like that.
That I saw a bunch of people talking of what he's alluding to.
Yeah.
He's talking about was talking about 3,300, so UFC 300, 30 pounds going up to, and then the number 3 being the third belt he gets into UFC.
So
talk about fighting like Aspinall or something up in heaven.
He said
people are kind of thinking he's alluding to that.
He put on his story, literally all it said was 3 plus 300 or 30 plus 300 equals 3. And so it's like 30 more pounds is heavyweight, 300 in UFC 300, 3 belts.
30 pounds plus UFC 300 equals 3 belts. I think our boy Tommy gets it done, though, dude.
Well, that my guess was he's fighting Tom, but
we're completely speculating right now.
I mean, what if he fights John?
Who?
Pereira.
Johnny fighting.
In April? You don't think he can do it in April?
I don't think so.
I don't think it's going to happen in April. I'd be surprised if it does.
But
I like Pereira's little jumping, trying to go be up in heavyweight. He could.
Oh, dude,
he could go up there.
He's just as big as a lot of those guys. Like no one else can do that shit.
And those guys like to strike. So,
right.
But it's weird. Like, obviously, if he fought Aspinall for the interim belt and won, he's still a champ, quote unquote. But it's weird that he would refer to 3 belts as an interim belt, or refer to an interim belt as his 3rd belt. So that's why I'm thinking, like, are they taking the belt off Jones and they're doing that for the undisputed, or like what's going on there?
Yeah, because that would mean Tom would be defending the interim, and that would be just goofy as hell.
So
then you take the interim from Tom and just have him fight for the real thing.
Now, do we think that John would like let the belt go?
I mean, sure, he can say he wouldn't, but if Dana's like, "Hey, you're just going to be out for a year. I can't hold this division up for a year."
The only way I see him not giving up the belt would be like if he were to come back like a couple months after 300. If he's like, "Hey, just wait, just a few more cards, I'll be back," within a reasonable time after that.
I mean, just like being like, put yourself in Stipe's shoes. I mean, it's just like nobody, like the UFC is just like forgot about him, like trying to do everybody but him.
Time is not on the guy's side right now either.
No,
I mean, it's kind of not on Pereira's side either. I mean, he's what, 36 or something.
Yeah, but shit, he's got 10 more years if he goes up to heavyweight.
Yeah.
I hope it happens because I would much rather see Tom or Pereira be the champ at heavyweight now, obviously, than Jones. But now, obviously, if Pereira wins the belt, then what? Because it's like he's got 2 belts, and he's not going to defend both of them in the amount of time that you need to defend belts. So
yeah,
I kind of want to see Pereira just run through 205.
Yeah. Heavyweight might be easier. Well, I mean, there's some good guys at heavyweight now, but I feel like he would be faster than these guys at heavyweight, and they're all going to want to strike with him.
There's so many good fights up there for him, like him and Cyril Gahn. That'd be fucking insane.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Now, his like Stonehenge ass head, if he gets hit by these guys, like that's different. So I don't know. It's tough, but either way, I hope that fight happens on UFC 300. That would be cool. You guys got any more thoughts on any of this stuff?
Oh, dude, I'm excited. I can't wait till they announce everything. I mean, it's going to be nuts. It has to be, right? For 300, it has to be. It's like Dana said, it should blow our mind. Obviously, he said our mind was going to be blown when he announced the first prelim and be like, what the hell is he doing with Bo Nickal? So,
yeah.
But hopefully that main card's going to be nuts.
GSP needs to stop being a bitch and freaking fight anybody.
He promised himself, man, no fights after 40.
What is he, 41?
Probably
40?
Older than that.
46.
Because he retired fairly early. He wasn't old the first time.
I mean, when did he come back and fight? He's 42. So he fought Bisping. I guess he would have been in his 30s.
30s, 38?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, but do you want to see GSP versus Nick Diaz as the main event of UFC 300? Because
definitely not a main event, and not Nick either, because his last outing was a disaster.
Yeah, it didn't go very well. Did not look good.
I don't know. I'm excited either way. Those are 3 solid fights and one of them's not even. Hell, they might not even all be on the main card. Like you said, the Aljo one could be the main prelim.
Yeah. So I mean, with these announcements and the ones that we already know about, early next year, first quarter, first half is looking pretty cool. So it's gonna be fun, and we'll be here for it, and we'll be telling you guys what we think of it. So thanks for watching. Go to the description. You'll see all our socials on there. Like, subscribe at HOR Podcast Instagram, at Hungover Handwrite on TikTok, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.